As we make our way back, Bubba, we're looking back in our history in radio, and one of our old friends has come across the Rick and Bubba path. Jeff Tanner. Jeff, how you doing, buddy?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Welcome back.
C. Tanner.
And you too, Speedy.
Yeah. Jeffrey C. Tanner, you worked with Bubba for many years in radio. And
yeah, he hired me.
He hired you.
Yeah.
And,
How about that?
Yeah, there's a story, but we can't get into that one exactly today. But,
I think there's a certain time you go back and go. Before that, it's just kind of the details get so foggy.
Right.
Why bring it up?
Well, Jeff,
if you can't be factually correct.
Yeah, Jeff and I had lunch the other day. We discussed the days when he and I were radio rivals.
Oh, in a big way.
And we attempted to have each other taken off the air.
It was ugly.
All under the guise of just competition.
And on that note, I think it's high time as far as the competition between us. I think it's safe to say you won. So congratulations.
Well, remember, sometimes be careful what you want.
Yeah.
But
Look at the baggage that went with it.
But I want to just kind of, if you're listening right now and you're kind of, we're off in the background or whatever. If you love to camp, if you're a person who, you and your family, we got neighbors all up and down our street that do this. If you got a free moment, you're camping. You're out. You're outdoors. You love to go set up your RV or set up your tents, and you do this on a regular basis. I want you to listen because I didn't even know that you were an outdoor camping enthusiast.
Jeff, I didn't know you were a camper either. You don't hit me as a camper.
It comes from when I was a kid, and my mama kept trying to throw me out of the house, and I had to figure out how to live in the woods.
Right, yeah.
So that's how that
But,
happened.
you love it. This is your passion.
I spent years in the Boy Scouts, and I strongly encourage parents to look in that direction if they have sons that want to be a part of it. And I don't know, man, it just makes me feel alive. And being out there and looking at God's creation, and I've had the privilege, thanks to radio and my days in the Air Force, to travel around the country, and I just thoroughly enjoy the outdoors. Now, I'm not a hunter. I know that's weird because I'm an Alabama boy, son of a truck driver out of East Gadsden, redneck.
Right. That is weird.
But
That is strange.
But I don't hunt,
But you love being out there. Do you fish?
No. I've tried it, and I just,
You just love the fire and the outdoors and the hiking and all that stuff.
That's it. And I'm not sure how that came to be, but people kept telling me I've recently dealt with cancer for the last year and a half and gone through the chemo and the radiation, and praise God, I'm good to go today. But during that time, people were like, you're going to have to find something to do with your time when you or this little early retirement thing that I'm now in. And I kept thinking, I don't hunt, I don't fish, I'm terrible at golf. And I was like, and finally it hit me, and I thought, man, I love spending time outdoors. So, good Lord found a way to give me the camper that I needed, and in the process of thinking down those lines, I thought, well, what else am I going to do out there? And I thought, well, it wouldn't hurt. I know there's many campground ministries and organizations, and that's wonderful. And I just kind of always tend to veer off the main trail a little bit. And I thought, well, I could just have a little devotion every morning there at my campsite and invite some of the other campers to come by and have a cup of coffee. And then I got to thinking about it a little bit more, and I thought, well, what if I could get these people that join me to do the same thing when they go to their campgrounds in the future? And then, of course, the old radio promotional kind of marketing thing could have started creative juices going. And next thing you know, God had it in my head to do Campfire devotions. And it's very, very, very simple idea. Now, there's no membership, there's no charter, there's no dues, there's no structured format. Just flat out simple idea of hosting or inviting folks to come to your campsite while you're out, having a cup of coffee, maybe a few dozen donuts, and
Why'd you look at me when you said a few dozen donuts?
Right, a few dozen donuts.
I still love breakfast.
I know you, brother.
But, when I heard you were going to be on and I didn't know what the idea was, I thought when Rick told me you were into camping, I thought you had a new bug spray or something.
Yeah,
I thought, all right, finally.
But one of the things,
no more swatting.
I've seen this dilemma happen with a lot of people who love to go to the outdoors. When it comes to hunting and fishing or camping, or even people that's involved in travel ball and all that, anything that takes you and your family away from your normal routine of worship,
right?
And you're going, we're going to be here on a Sunday,
right?
And we're not, we should be doing something today that would replace where we would normally be back home in church if you're a follower of Christ. And not only can this solve that problem because it gives you kind of the tools and ideas to go into a campsite and try to have a Sunday morning. It don't have to be Sunday morning.
No,
it can be any time over the weekend. but it also gives you a great opportunity to maybe reach out to people who have never heard this.
Well, that's the other part of it is the fact that, I mean, I can't speak for others, but for myself, there's a lot of times that I can feel God's Spirit telling me that I need to talk to someone, whether it's someone I know or just met about Christ. And, and sometimes it just kind of like, for whatever reason, you don't. And it's sad, but it's, and sometimes you need a little push, a little nudge,
or on the other end, something that's not as threatening
Exactly.
as you just go through the campsite and say,
Exactly.
hey, Sunday morning or Friday night or Saturday afternoon,
Yep.
we're going to have
God's ready to go anytime.
Yeah, we're
anytime.
I'm going to have a little Bible study I'm hosting around the fire at our place. Here's a little something. Why don't you come join us?
That's precisely the point. And then it crossed my mind. I thought, well, if I want to try to put this together in a way that people will know what it is when it's happening and so on and so forth, is it kind of needs to have a banner or some recognizable image that people hopefully, prayerfully, and God's blessings down the road, people will be pulling in a campground somewhere, see the Campfire Devotions logo, and know instantly what it is, and that there's some brothers and sisters in the campground and that they need to go say hello to, introduce themselves, and say, yeah, let's do devotion tomorrow morning. It's just a great way to start. I mean, everybody knows should know it's a great way to start your day. And like I said, you can do it any time. There's again no structure to this. And if people want to check it out and find out what the real story is, it's campfiredevotions.com, and it hopefully tells the whole story.
We've got it up in our show notes today, campfiredevotions.com. What this website is for, put up your experience if you want to. There's opportunities to go, hey, we did it at our campsite.
Yep.
If you would like to get a sign that says Campfire Devotions,
right,
we're going to do it at this time in the campsite, you can get those materials. It's really just set up because we can say it all we want to. Well, structure is not necessary. But you know what? How many times have you been away, out of town, camping, and you said we should do a devotion, but since there is no structure, you never get around to it?
You don't get around to it.
This sets it up where you go, hey, in this campsite, there's the Campfire Devotion sign. We're going to do it at a set time. Mm-hmm. We'd love for you to join us. So it doesn't give you a lot of structure, but it does give you a little bit, so you kind of make it an appointment.
And the only way this is going to work is if there's enough people who decide to participate and, wear the shirt, wear the hat, put the sign at their campsite, invite people, and let word get out and spread. And again, this is all God's. As I told my son the other day, I said, I've done all the legwork that I think I was supposed to do with this idea and followed God's guidance. And now it's kind of like, okay, now it's time for me to hand it back to him and say, this is this is yours. You do with it as you want to and how you want to, because, and I'll be behind the scenes. But this, another big thing is it's not about me. My story is on the site just because I want people to know who, kind of put this together, and I do have so many blessings of recovery that I love running my mouth and telling people how good God's been to me. Yep. But at the same time, this is designed so that the people, like your show, the audience is the star. I mean, no offense. I mean,
we know that. Trust me, man.
I know you do.
Oh, we're not. If it's us, we're doomed.
You want the people who are participating to tell their stories, and most of the time, those are the funny ones anyway. And it's just a hoot to share those stories, and it's kind of a, just a gathering place on the internet for people to send in their pictures, their stories, and then of course I'll post those and kind of manage how that looks.
It's a place for people who, like you, love to go out to campgrounds, to parks, and they love to go out and camp, to kind of all come together and chat and share pictures and have fun together, but also a place to come together and say, let's start, because really wherever God has placed you, he's placed you there to, number one, to get to know him better,
right,
and to somehow influence others and introduce him to others. And this is kind of a setup if you've got the passion for camping, which is God-given, by the way.
Yes.
And, I mean, whatever passions you have, unless they're in conflict with him, they're from him. Now, there are some that your flesh gives you that you might want to watch.
Yeah.
But what I'm
double check that.
This is a way for people to say, I do love to go out and camp. We do enjoy that time together as family and friends. But you know what? This is another thing we can do that can really have,
an influence.
An influence on, and of course, it helps you to grow too.
Absolutely, that's what I tell folks. This is something I think will help kind of, give me some accountability and keep me line with what God has for me. And I know there's a lot of folks that do enjoy camping, so if you would check it out, and if you participate, even better, pray about it. And as far as the merchandising and stuff like that, that is for the sole purpose of helping get the brand and the image recognizable and to support the ministry. I mean, I hope at some point we'll have money to, like the heartbreaking tragedy of what just happened in Oklahoma. And, if there's monies available that's generated from this site to help out in any shape, form, or fashion, then it'll be there. But every dollar, it goes right back into promoting the ministry and to helping spread the good news of Christ. And I'm just so thrilled that God helped me find. He knew what was in line all along, but he helped me figure out what I'm supposed to do now that after 30 years, I don't know if I was done with radio or radio done with me, but now I got something to do.
That's right.
And I don't know how long I got. None of us do. Again, thankfully, this cancer thing is back and gone, and I don't even think about it. I really don't. I'm beginning to get my eyebrows back. And my eyelashes,
your hair's
and some
come back
hair,
nice,
and there was a while there I looked like a white Whoopi Goldberg. And there's a mental picture that'll keep you up at night.
That'll be with you. And I know you got a few gifts for us that you brought.
We'll do that.
And your phone calls we come back. So campfiredevotions.com.
Yep.
Simple. Campfiredevotions.com. We'll put it in show notes today, too.
Thank you.
And if you love going out on the weekends and being in these campsites, it's a great, great way to keep in touch and also to spend some time together with the Lord. We'll be right back. More Rick and Bubba right after this.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Comfortable to all the campers and something to fellowship and enjoy. And these gifts, Jeff, you really went overboard.
Oh, well, I got $1.98 or two in there, but not much.
All right, we first of all, you've given us certificates that we've helped you launch the nonprofit CampfireDevotions.com for our office.
Yeah.
We have Campfire Devotion camo huggers.
Yeah.
To put on your
Koozies.
your favorite soft drink, these koozies, and then you've got we got Campfire
Hats.
Devotion hats,
Signs.
Yeah, we
this
got-
is the actual sign.
Yeah, that's what you actually put up if you're a Campfire Devotion host site. But the one you order off the website will come with a metal pole, so you can set it up. Or if you don't want to use that,
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
I see that now. I forgot. Oh, yeah, we got TV going on, too. I
we
see
got
that.
TNN checking in, Ustream, all that, and then
Bookmarks.
bookmarks, and then you gave me a chainsaw art. Was that what you call that?
Yeah, I guess that's what you
Big
call
giant piece of wood with Jesus is Lord
Yep.
carved in it with a chainsaw.
Yeah, there's a guy out in near Warrior, Alabama that does that, and I saw it, and I'm like, yep, that's going to Rick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll put that up down at the farm, and that'll be a great piece to go up down there.
And this, the basic tennis ball that I heard the stories. Now, the Bussy I knew way back when,
Yes.
he wouldn't run across a tennis court unless there was a pork chop tied to the net.
That's right. That was during my down years.
That was when he hated tennis and Mac computers.
Yeah, making fun of them. You got to be careful what you make fun
Oh,
of.
look, tell me.
I bought a bag of dog food the other day, and it had a prize inside. And believe it or not, it was a tennis ball. I'm serious, and I'm thinking, this was after talking to you, I was coming here today, and I thought, and it reminded me of Bussy. One, is like his face, it's a little round and fuzzy.
Right.
And then Speedy earlier, he said, well, it kind of reminds me of Bussy too. And I looked at him, and I'm not sure what he meant by this, but it's so tight.
Oh,
It
it
squeaks.
squeaks too.
And
I
said,
like it.
I don't know what he meant, but
Yeah, there you go.
I'm teasing. Speedy didn't say that.
That's
A squeaky toy tennis ball.
so a tennis ball
Oh,
for
I like
Bubba.
it.
So,
I like it.
there you go,
I like
Bussy.
it.
That's it.
There's all kind of good uses for tennis balls.
There really is. And you also brought. You still had one of the magnetic logos,
From AM 810.
and
Yep.
we're back on that station
Right.
now. Did you know that?
That's what Bussy was telling me a while ago.
And
I
at one
thought,
time
Alabama's 810.
you worked for Bussy.
yeah, doing the morning.
ours
show.
And Jeff lifted a magnetic sticker.
And is that kind of like stealing office supplies?
It is. It is.
Well,
It's the same.
when I left, he didn't pay me what he owed me, so I took the
There
magnet.
you go.
Well, look, when they come with the chain cutters, there's nothing you can do.
That's right. That's right.
The
When they say theirs, you got to let them have it.
So yeah,
but now there's all kinds of legends of those that worked for Bubba when he was an owner and general manager. And was it true
Let's
that
say partner.
y'all all threatened to quit if he ever went on the air?
yeah, kind of, sort of.
So is that a true story?
That's a true story.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It was our first strike we had. First labor relations issue.
And that was just about shoes, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what.
I've been wrong about a few things in my life, but
That was a big miss.
mostly being on the air, I think I missed that one.
That was a
Yeah.
big miss.
It's worked out.
Look, you
pretty
ain't
good.
the only one that missed it.
Well, let me tell you something. I was looking for a partner, and when I heard the Shoe Deli commercial, I knew that the search was over.
You know, I hope Don Ward heard that at work. He loves shoe delis more than anybody I've ever heard.
Oh, Danny Don. Hey, real quick, because you got a birthday girl here. In the
Yes, yeah.
My grandbaby girl, Presley, is 1 today. So you share a birthday with my
How about
sweet
that?
Yeah, happy birthday to Presley.
Well, how about it looks your nephew's calling right now.
And
Josh, you know Josh?
Yeah.
Josh, welcome to the show, buddy.
What is up? I'm telling you what. Now, Mickey Dean has just hit Radio Gold. 2 guys from Calhoun County and a guy from East Gadsden on the radio.
Yep.
Scary.
I mean, I hope he has a notebook out right now writing something.
Like I say,
I feel like he does.
he does. There's no question.
Wow,
He's
you don't
right-
understand.
He's right down.
Morning, Josh.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
How about when you wake up and hear Uncle Jeff on the old Rick and Bubba show?
Man, how about that? How about as a pastor driving down the road, there's a lot of things that you'll think you'll hear on the radio.
But this wasn't one of them.
Your uncle hanging out with Rick and Bubba, probably not one of them.
Josh, this is the place you come to be absolutely shocked.
That's it.
That's it. Really?
You know what? We say Rick and Bubba, hey, you never know, and we mean it.
Yes,
I am thrilled to
absolutely.
be here. Thrilled to be here.
Well, Josh, thanks for checking in, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, you guys have a blessed day.
Thank you, man.
On that note, real quick, and this is as serious as I can be, and I don't do that very often. God is so good, and He has provided me this outlet. I could not have asked for a better program, broadcast, or otherwise, whatever, to release the news about Campfire Devotions. And I say that not because I'm after a free lunch. I'm after letting you guys know that what you stand for, your willingness to say it and how you say it and present the gospel is just, it's a pleasure to be affiliated with you guys, and thank you very much.
Well, you know more than anything, as you just said a minute ago, God has a great sense of humor, and He's always used people that nobody thought they were worthy of being used. So thank you very much, Jeff. Good to talk to you. CampfireDevotions.com. You'll see that in rickandbubba.com. If you leave us, have a big day. If there's more Rick and Bubba scheduled, Lord willing, we'll be back.
Rick and Bubba.